Hello everyone. Today I wanted to talk to you about assumptions. Assumptions can be very dangerous. Sometimes they are very damaging, and they lead to disobedience to God. And also they can ruin relationships. You have to be really careful making assumptions. For example, Abraham, before he met King Abimelech in Genesis chapter 20, I believe, he made assumption that this is a really bad place and this is a wicked man, and he lied to him, saying that his wife is not his wife, she's his sister. So Abimelech wanted to take her as his wife, and then God, of course, prevented this whole thing to happen. And when he was asked, why would you do this, and he said, well, I assumed this is a really dangerous place, and you are a wicked man, so I was afraid you are going to kill me and to take away my wife. Abraham's assumption led him to disobey to God. He couldn't trust God that he's going to be there for him and he's going to take care of him, because he was on a mission. It is also very important to check on assumptions before acting on them. Sometimes we confuse assumptions with facts, which then can lead to a dangerous place. So it's one thing to make assumption, and it's another thing to put the facts together. It is very important for us to know that assumptions are not facts yet. So we have to check them before we speak about them, before we share them with others, and let alone we act on them. Another thing about assumptions, they can be really damaging. For example, when Job was going through all his sufferings, his friends were saying that he must have committed a grave sin and God is punishing him and he's receiving God's justice. But it was not true. So, and then Job was telling his friends, you are like worthless doctors, because Job knew he hasn't done anything wrong. Assumptions also can devalue people. Sometimes based on assumptions, we disregard certain people and we don't think they could be brought to God. I mean, who would have thought that Nicodemus, being a Pharisee, Jewish leader, would come to speak with Jesus? But not only he came and spoke with Jesus, he became basically his follower. The Holy Spirit can lead anyone, even the most impossible person, to God. So we have to also be careful from those kind of assumptions. Assumptions also can make us to really give up on people, thinking that it is impossible for the person to change. Like, for example, in the book of Acts, we read when God was asking Ananias to assist Saint Paul, who was not Saint Paul yet. He started to kind of argue with God, saying, I mean, I have heard about this man, what terrible things he has done. Not him. He cannot become a Christian. That's impossible. But despite these understandable feelings, we see Ananias obeying to God and assisting, ministering to Paul. Let's not limit God, because he can do anything, and our job is to be obedient to his will and make sure we live our life without assumptions. If we have any assumptions, let them be positive. Otherwise, we have to avoid all the negative assumptions, and we should not act on them, and we should not share them before we check on them. Let all your assumptions be positive, stay positive, and may the Lord's wisdom be always with you. God bless you.